everybody, welcome to Wild Boy Movies, the place to talk movies. And this morning, Marvel Studios went ahead and dropped the final trailer for the Fantastic Four: First Steps. Now, this is a movie that I think a lot of us MCU fans are really looking forward to, especially since it is the Fantastic Four finally entering the MCU, and also the first Fantastic Four movie we're getting in over 10 years since that Fantastic movie. And since this is the final trailer, this will be like my final video talking about Fantastic Four before the movie's release. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about my thoughts on this Fantastic Four trailer, talk about some of the things I really liked, and one thing that I'm like, Marvel, why are you not doing this? But be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below your thoughts on the Fantastic Four First Steps trailer. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so if you haven't seen the other two videos where I talked about the previous Fantastic Four trailers, then quick summary, I'm really looking forward to this movie. And with this final trailer, yeah, my excitement is still pretty high for this movie just because I'm liking the different route that Marvel Studios is taking with this Fantastic Four movie, with it set in its own alternate universe and in a retro-futuristic 1960s. I'm liking that with this movie, especially since you don't need to watch anything of the MCU to understand this Fantastic Four movie. It's completely standalone, and I think Marvel should go into that route more often with the next saga, which we're hearing is mainly focused on the X-Men, but sticking with Fantastic Four, I think this trailer was really good. Now, it does pose the question, will Superman be able to make more money and will be received better than Fantastic Four? That we'll have to wait and see for, but I am liking what we're seeing in these Fantastic Four trailers, and some of the things in this final trailer has me very excited to see the movie. Like, for one, I am really liking the team dynamic in this movie. Like, I think Marvel Studios and Matt Shakman, the director, went ahead and nailed that down perfectly for this Fantastic Four movie, and each of the characters in here also, they have their moment to shine in the trailer, maybe towards the opening where it's like this talk show that are introducing the Fantastic Four members. And one thing with Johnny Storm that I will talk about, not only do we see him go up in the sky and make the four in the sky, which is something that has happened in the comics and in the early 2000s Fantastic Four movies, but if you take a look at his suit, while he's on his flame on mode, he does have like those lines that we do see of the Human Torch in the comics, seemingly leaning and confirming that we will get those lines on Human Torch whenever he's on his flame mode. And that is something different of the Fantastic Four, because we haven't seen that in the early 2000s movies. We haven't seen that in Fantastic. So it's cool that Marvel is going to go ahead and do that here with Johnny Storm here. Now, for the Thing, they are obviously going ahead and teasing the Thing, going ahead and saying his most famous line, "It's clobbering time." I mean, he even said it in Marvel Rivals. I'm not taking a nap right now, because like the Thing said, it's clobbering time. And I like how the Thing is like, no, I'm not gonna go ahead and say that. I don't even say that. It might say that in the cartoon, but I don't actually say it in real life. And I know that he is going to go ahead and say that line in the actual movie, and that is going to be like a big clap-worthy moment in the Fantastic Four, him finally going ahead and saying that line. Also, I can't go ahead and ignore the fact that they are starting to show off more and more footage of Franklin Richards, the baby and child of Reed and Sue Storm. Now, Marvel has completely hidden this from the first two trailers. I know in the second trailer, they mentioned that Sue Storm was pregnant, but it was only from that tickets on sale teaser that came out like last month. We got the confirmation that Franklin Richards is in this movie, and before then, we just had toy leaks. So that would be some figurine statues to Funko Pops. Marvel is really now showing off Franklin Richards in the Fantastic Four trailers, which not only do I think he could play a big part in the movie in terms of like the villain Galactus, but I also think that Franklin Richards could play like a big part in the future of the MCU. I don't know about Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars because he might still be an infant or a toddler whenever those events happen, but I do also think that he will have a big and significant role in the next saga of the MCU because apparently from what I understand, he is an Omega level mutant, and mutants are really going to be the next big vocal center point of the MCU whenever we get the X-Men. I do think that in one of these MCU X-Men movies, we could get Franklin Richards in like the X-Mansion learning about his Omega level powers, which I do think is something that should happen because Franklin Richards is one of the most powerful MCU characters. I don't want them to like really waste his potential. But the big thing I want to go ahead and talk about with this trailer, and I do mean big, literally, Galactus, because I don't know what Marvel is doing, but they are continuing not to show the face of Galactus at all in these trailers. The only time we've seen the face of Galactus is through some promo art with Snapple, or even that $80 popcorn bucket, which does look pretty good, but I probably will not end up purchasing that just because of that $80 price tag. But I don't get why Marvel is just refusing to show the full design of Galactus in these trailers when we already got that through popcorn buckets or promo art. But even with that, we still get some new shots of Galactus, whether it be some more backhead shots or even his body to him walking down the street. He does look really good, not gonna lie, and is in fact miles better than what we got in Rise of Silver Surfer, where he was just a giant cloud, which wasn't even comic accurate. But alright, I want to go ahead and throw out this question. How do we all think the Fantastic Four movie is gonna end? Because a lot of us are thinking Galactus is gonna end up devouring this Fantastic Four's world, causing them to have no home and for them to enter the MCU. Now, I do think that could be something that happens, but there is a possibility that the Fantastic Four do end up winning and their world is saved, but something goes down via Doctor Doom that causes the Fantastic Four to feel that their world is no longer safe and for them to transfer over to the MCU. And yeah, I do think that this Fantastic Four movie will have connections to the Thunderbolts, where that post-credit scene, we saw the new Avengers get alerted that the Fantastic Four are entering their universe. Now, I don't know if that will be addressed in Fantastic Four, whether their world is completely destroyed. I know some people are speculating that the Fantastic Four aren't even in that ship in that Thunderbolts post-credit scene. But I do believe that Fantastic Four will be a major setup towards Avengers Doomsday coming December 2026. And I do honestly think that we will get a post-credit scene with Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. Even though people involved in the movie are saying that Robert Downey Jr. is not in Fantastic Four, I don't believe them one bit. I do honestly think that we will get a Doctor Doom tease in the post-credit scene of Fantastic Four, setting up Avengers Doomsday. But yeah, that is honestly my thoughts and speculation towards the Fantastic Four First Steps final trailer. I want to hear from you guys. What are you guys' thoughts on this trailer for the Fantastic Four? And do you think they should have shown the full design of Galactus in this trailer? Go ahead and leave your thoughts down in the comment section. And while you're at it, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And I got 2 more episodes of Ironheart to watch, and I gotta keep an eye out for any confirmation on a Five Nights at Freddy's 2 trailer. So until next time, have a great day.